Joining me right now is U.S. Commerce Department former Deputy Director, Vicar Financial CEO Chris Garcia. Chris, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us. What's your view of all of this? I mean, there's a trade story here. There's a national security issue around Beijing. And obviously, this president is not backing down. Will this be a problem for the economy in the U.S. and markets here?
Well, I think markets need to brace, Maria, first of all, for a long and extended negotiation process. This is something that China's done historically in the past. They've kicked the can down the road. They've tried to run the clock out on previous presidents' administration, and this time they're going to try to run the clock out on the Trump administration. I've always said that the trading relationship with China, Maria, is kind of like a really bad contract with your cable provider. You know you're getting ripped off. You know you can get a better deal somewhere else, but it's not until you threaten to leave that they finally treat you like a valued customer again. But this time we're dealing with trillions of dollars and national security. Yeah,
I understand that. But, you know, you've got the suppliers to Huawei, for example, suspending business after the ban in the United States. These are, you know, companies like Intel, Qualcomm. I mean, they supply a product to Huawei and the two do business back and forth. This will impact earnings in the U.S., correct?
Yeah, it's absolutely going to impact earnings because you're cutting off a key buyer. But, you know, this is a huge haymaker that the United States just landed to make sure China knows that we're not playing games. You know, if China decides that they want to, to completely violate, for example, the Iranian sanctions, we saw the outright ban of ZTE in 2018. This might be a little bit different. This is a little bit more of an olive branch still being extended by the United States because this is a little bit different. We're just doing it on a case-by-case basis by listing them on the entity list. But still, you're completely banning, the outright sale of software. You've got hardware that they're not able to source from key suppliers. But these are things that, we have warned China about for years.
Yeah.
You have to stop playing these games. You have to stop cheating. And then we have to open up a more fair, free, and reciprocal trading relationship with them.
Yeah, and by the way, Wall Street is writing all about this morning and on Friday. And a couple of analysts believe that winners in this could be Nokia and Ericsson. They're well placed to benefit from any disruption from Huawei. But look at Google, reportedly cutting ties with the Chinese telecom giant. Reuters is reporting that China will not have access to parts of Google's Android operating platform. The future versions of Huawei's smartphones that run on Android will also lose access to the popular services like Gmail and YouTube. So Google, even though among those tech companies that have been entrenched in China, it too pulling back from Huawei.
Oh, yeah. No, so Google, that is the haymaker. That is the hammer that's being dropped. Any U.S. software that users that are using a Huawei device are used to having available at their fingertips, they're no longer going to be able to use those. If they continue to use the existing device, that means that future software updates will leave them vulnerable to attacks, for example, from those of the Chinese.
Yeah.
But again, this is the thing, Maria. If you continue to lie, cheat, steal, not respect the U.S. Trading relationship and the norms, then just like Seinfeld said, no soup for you.
All right, so we've got markets, I guess, that so far are siding with the president. It hasn't been all that bad in terms of performance, so you feel like maybe, I don't know if they're underestimating this or just expecting a deal at some point, but supporting the president's actions. What about USMCA? The president looks to move this trade agreement along. He withdrew the tariffs of 25% and 10% respectively on billions of dollars in steel and aluminum from Canada and Mexico. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy and Michigan Congresswoman Debbie Dingell joined me yesterday on Sunday Morning Futures. Both said this is a good sign as this is expected to pass, but Nancy Pelosi has to bring it to the floor. First, here's what they said.
One of the requirements the Democrats have had is that they change their labor laws. Well, that has passed the Senate in Mexico. So now there is nothing holding us back to pass the bill that would bring more jobs to America, and the timing could not be more perfect. It will only make us stronger in this battle with China, where China doesn't want to have a fair trade agreement. But it would unite Americas, and that is something that would be much stronger in this debate going forward.
It's got to be stronger on enforcement of those labor provisions. And they got to make it there. General Motors moved a Blazer plant put a Blazer plant in Mexico and is paying $1.50 an hour. And we're competing with that salary. And it's not tough enough to make sure that that doesn't happen yet. And two, Kevin McCarthy did not talk about the fact that there are pharmaceutical provisions in there that will increase the cost of drugs. We need to address those. Ambassador Lighthouser knows that those have to be addressed. He is dealing.
So this is still being seen as really a political football, Chris. But if USMCA does not pass, is that a big problem for the economy here in markets? Because Nancy Pelosi has yet to commit that she'll bring it to the floor for a vote.
Yeah, no, so Marie, that's a key part of this whole negotiation with China. I think this is why the president set this up this way. By being able to leverage our regional allies, and I'm not just talking about Canada and Mexico, but it's also the EU and Japan, where the president decided to forego those tariffs on autos for 6 months. But we have to pass the USMCA to build a regional coalition of the willing, so to speak, so that we can really increase the pressure on China, try to isolate China, and just like Larry Kudlow would say early on. He would talk about, needing to have, and certainly Kevin Hassett, certainly Bob Lighthizer, needing to have a coalition of the willing. This has to span multiple administrations. So if we can pass the USMCA, if we can get more pressure from Japan and the EU, we can really put China in a tight spot, put them in a corner to make sure that they actually finally follow these normal trading rules of the new trading order.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to prove the world that they're trustworthy. They'll prove to the world that they're trustworthy. So I imagine these things matter to China. We'll be watching. Chris, good to see you. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Maria.
Chris Garcia there.